The Roman Republic, once a symbol of power and stability, faced a period of unprecedented turmoil by the 1st century BC. This era marked the beginning of a series of events that would shake the very foundations of Roman society. Years of constant warfare had taken their toll, leaving the Republic exhausted and its resources stretched thin. The Roman army, once a bastion of citizen soldiers, had transformed into a force of professional soldiers loyal to their generals, not to Rome. This shift in loyalty created a dangerous power dynamic. Adding fuel to the fire were the inequalities that plagued Roman society. The common people, or plebeians, struggled to make ends meet while the patricians lived in opulence. The gap between the wealthy elite and the common people had grown into a chasm, creating social unrest and discontent among the masses. Political corruption was rife, with powerful individuals and factions vying for control. Bribery and manipulation became the norm in the political arena. The traditional values of the Republic, such as civic duty and the rule of law, were crumbling under the weight of ambition and greed. The moral fabric of society was unraveling. The Roman Senate, once the revered governing body of the Republic, found itself unable to control the powerful generals who commanded legions of loyal troops. These generals wielded immense influence. These generals, fueled by ambition and a lust for power, saw an opportunity to exploit the chaos for their own gain. Their actions further destabilized the Republic. The Roman Republic, once a beacon of hope and stability, teetered on the brink of collapse. The very essence of Roman identity was at stake. The stage was set for a dramatic power struggle that would forever alter the course of Roman history. The Republic's fate hung in the balance as key figures vied for supremacy. Among the ambitious figures who emerged from this turbulent era, one name stands out: Gaius Julius Caesar. A brilliant military strategist and a shrewd politician, Caesar had risen through the ranks, amassing power and influence. His victories in Gaul, modern-day France, had made him a hero to the people and a threat to his rivals in Rome. In 50 BC, the Senate, fearing Caesar's growing power and influence, ordered him to disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen. This was a direct challenge to Caesar's authority, one that he met with defiance. In a moment of dramatic symbolism, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River, the boundary between Roman Italy and Cisalpine Gaul, with his loyal legions. This act was a declaration of war against the Roman Senate, a brazen challenge to the Republic itself. Caesar's march on Rome ignited a civil war that would pit Roman against Roman, brother against brother. This conflict would mark a turning point in Roman history, paving the way for the demise of the Republic and the rise of the empire. Caesar's victory in the Civil War left him as the undisputed master of Rome. His military prowess and strategic brilliance had brought him to the pinnacle of power. He assumed the title of dictator for life, effectively ending the Republic in all but name. This move was seen as both bold and controversial, shaking the very foundations of Roman governance. While Caesar implemented some popular reforms, his growing power and ambition alienated many within the Roman elite. His sweeping changes, though beneficial to the common people, were perceived as threats by the aristocracy. Fearing that Caesar aimed to crown himself king, a group of senators led by Marcus Junius Brutus and Gaius Cassius Longinus conspired to eliminate the man they perceived as a tyrant. Their fear of losing their own power and influence drove them to drastic measures. On March 15, 44 BC, the Ides of March, they struck, assassinating Caesar in the theatre of Pompey. The scene was chaotic and brutal, marking a pivotal moment in Roman history. The assassination of Caesar, far from saving the Republic, plunged Rome into a new period of chaos and bloodshed. The power vacuum left by his death created a struggle for control. The conspirators had miscalculated the mood of the Roman people. Instead of being hailed as liberators, they were met with suspicion and anger. Many mourned Caesar as a great leader, and his death sparked a power vacuum that quickly led to violence and instability. The streets of Rome were filled with grief and conflict. Rome was once again on the brink, its future uncertain. The once mighty republic was now a shadow of its former self, teetering on the edge of collapse. Out of the ashes of this turmoil, a new figure would emerge, one who would ultimately surpass even Caesar in shaping the destiny of Rome. Augustus, Caesar's adopted heir, would rise to power and lead Rome into a new era of stability and prosperity. Section 4. Octavian, from teenage heir to shrewd politician. Gaius Octavius, Caesar's 18-year-old grandnephew and adopted son, was studying in Greece when news of Caesar's assassination reached him. Though a relatively unknown figure at the time, Octavian possessed a sharp intellect, a keen political instinct, and a ruthless streak that would serve him well in the years to come. Upon returning to Rome, Octavian skillfully navigated the treacherous waters of Roman politics. He rallied Caesar's loyal legions to his side and formed an alliance with Mark Antony, one of Caesar's most trusted generals, and Marcus Aemilius Lepidus, a powerful Roman politician. This triumvirate, known as the Second Triumvirate, set about consolidating power and eliminating their rivals, including Brutus and Cassius. Their victory at the Battle of Philippi in 42 BC avenged Caesar's assassination and left the triumvirate in control of Rome. However, this alliance, born out of convenience and ambition, would prove to be as unstable as the republic it sought to replace. The stage was set for another showdown, one that would determine the ultimate fate of Rome. Section 5. Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. The Second Triumvirate, formed by Octavian, Mark Antony and Lepidus, proved to be a temporary solution to a deeply divided Rome. This alliance was meant to stabilize the republic, but it was fraught with internal tensions. Tensions between Octavian and Mark Antony, fueled by ambition and rivalry for power, eventually erupted into open conflict. Their personal ambitions and differing visions for Rome's future made their alliance untenable. Their rivalry culminated in the Battle of Actium in 31 BC, a naval engagement off the coast of Greece. This battle was not just a clash of fleets, but a decisive moment that would determine the future of Rome. Octavian's victory at Actium marked a decisive turning point in Roman history. His triumph was celebrated throughout Rome, solidifying his position as the preeminent leader. Mark Antony and his lover, the Egyptian Queen Cleopatra, were defeated, leaving Octavian as the sole ruler of Rome. Their dramatic end symbolized the fall of the old guard and the rise of a new era. The Republic, weakened by decades of civil war and strife, was effectively at an end. The old political structures had crumbled, and the need for a new form of governance was apparent. In 27 BC, in a carefully orchestrated political maneuver, Octavian appeared before the Roman Senate and offered to relinquish his extraordinary powers, restoring the Republic to its former glory. This act was a masterstroke of political theatre. The Senate, however, recognizing both the futility of opposing Octavian and the need for stability, refused his offer. They understood that Rome needed a strong leader to navigate through its turbulent times. They bestowed upon him the title Augustus, meaning the revered one, granting him unprecedented authority over the Roman state. This title not only honored him, but also legitimized his rule. Augustus, as he was now known, was acutely aware of the need to tread carefully. He knew that his power rested on a delicate balance of military might and public approval. He understood that any overt attempt to establish himself as a king would be met with resistance. The memory of Julius Caesar's assassination was still fresh in the minds of many. Instead, he presented himself as a restorer of peace and order, a protector of Roman tradition. He emphasized his role in bringing stability and prosperity to Rome. In reality, he held absolute power, skillfully cloaking his authority behind a facade of republican legitimacy. Augustus's reign marked the beginning of the Roman Empire, a new chapter in the history of Rome. Section 6. The Pax Romana, a golden age for Rome. Augustus's reign ushered in a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity for Rome, known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. This era of stability, which lasted for over 2 centuries, marked the zenith of Roman power and influence. With the Roman world at peace, Augustus implemented a series of reforms that transformed the Roman state. He restructured the army, creating a professional standing army loyal to the emperor. He reformed the tax system, making it more equitable and efficient. He also embarked on a vast building program constructing roads, aqueducts and temples that showcased the grandeur of Rome. The Pax Romana allowed Roman culture to flourish. Literature, art and architecture thrived. Trade routes flourished, connecting the far-flung corners of the Roman Empire and bringing wealth and prosperity to Rome. It was a golden age for the Roman Empire, a testament to the stability and prosperity that Augustus's rule had brought. Section 7. The legacy of Augustus transforming the Republic into an empire. Augustus, through a shrewd combination of political maneuvering, military might and administrative reforms, had transformed the Roman Republic into an empire. He died in AD 14 at the age of 75, having ruled for over 4 decades. His legacy was profound. He had brought an end to decades of civil war and instability, ushering in an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity. He had laid the foundation for a stable and enduring imperial system that would govern Rome for centuries to come. While the Roman Republic, with its ideals of civic duty and shared power, was gone, it was replaced by a system that, while autocratic in nature, provided the stability and security that Rome desperately needed. The transition from republic to empire was a gradual and often messy process, but it was Augustus who ultimately guided Rome through this pivotal transformation.